The other day I hit a really big milestone with my new book, The Path to Freedom. So let's take a look at what's going to happen next. So the other day I received back the final series of edits from my editor for my book, which is great because this is the last block of work and amendments which I've done, which needed to be looked at by the editor. So she's returned those, and I've incorporated any suggestions that she had and any fixes and all that sort of stuff back into the manuscript. So that now means I am now final. The book is finished, which is fantastic. So what this does now is it opens up a fairly large chain of events which is going to happen from now on. So first of all, the book is going to be proofread. So again, the whole thing goes back to my editor, and for the next 2 weeks she's just going to read through everything in detail with a fine-tooth comb, just making sure that no inconsistencies or errors have slipped past both of us, and just making sure that there's consistency throughout the whole book. So for example, if I've written the word startup, we've settled on using start-up instead of startup as one word, or start space up. So it's making sure that inconsistencies like that are removed, should any of them still be in there. So that's happening now, and that will be done within the next 2 weeks, which is great. But in the meantime, that means I can actually start getting ahead on some of the other tasks I need to do. So I've just got my notes. So I've got, the first thing to do is typesetting. Now typesetting is where you take the manuscript and then you format it into the finished paperback book. So I use a tool called Scrivener, and all throughout the book I've been maintaining a fairly consistent final version of a PDF of the book. There's a few problems with it which I've decided to leave until the end, but now I'm at the point where the changes that come back from proofreading should be absolutely minimal, so I can be fairly confident that the format and the size of sentences and paragraphs isn't going to change. So I can just fix those final few inconsistencies. So that shouldn't take long, and then once I've done that, I can also format the ebook Kindle version, which won't take too long. That'll just be pretty much an export and a little bit of a tidy up. So the other thing I need to do is I need to order and allocate the ISBN numbers. So those are the barcodes that you get on the back of the book. So each version of the book, whether it's paperback or Kindle, will have a different barcode. So I need to do that, and also need to register the barcodes with Nielsen Book Scan, which is a requirement for some shops to stock the book. Also a task which I've just started is building a website or microsite for the book. So this will be primarily a marketing site which I can point people to. It will contain links to where they can buy the book, as well as they'll be eventually able to buy signed versions of the book directly from the website, because that's something that people have asked for. So that's currently ongoing. I'm using a website called Squarespace to build that, which is a fantastic way of building websites fairly quickly, and it's not too expensive. So whilst I am a trained and experienced software developer, I could build the entire site myself, but there's no point. It's a solved problem. I may as well just use one of these services which lets you get there quicker. So as part of that, I need to set up the mailing list. I'm in the process of doing that, so that people can sign up on the website and they'll receive a load of correspondence and factual emails, which will be quite useful to them, as well as be able to get a sample chapter from the book. Another task I need to do is to start looking at keywords for Amazon. So if you break Amazon down effectively, it is probably one of the world's largest search engines outside of Google. That is primarily what Amazon is, a search engine that you buy products from. So like with any other search engine, you need to think about search engine optimization, so the keywords that you use and allocate to the book, also the keywords that you use in the book blurb and descriptions is also very important. So the book blurb has been written with keywords in mind, but I also need to look for specific keywords that I can put into the Amazon Kindle publishing tool as well. So that's kind of a task that I'm looking at as well. And once all that is done, I'm expecting probably around the second week or mid-May, is the paperback and ebook will be loaded into Amazon Kindle Select, which is where you upload the books to sell them, and I'll then set a pre-order. So you'll be able to pre-order the book initially, and I'll probably have a special offer at pre-order price, and that will last for 2 or 3 weeks, which will give me some time to do some marketing momentum. Which means the book will launch proper probably very beginning of June, or certainly the end of May, but probably beginning of June. I'm slightly behind where I wanted to be, just because we had a lockdown in January, so that kind of slowed everything down a little bit, but we're not going to be too far behind, which is good. We've managed to catch up quite well. Another thing I need to do is to load the paperback book into a service called Ingram Spark. So Ingram is a company that's owned by Lightning Source, who are another sort of print-on-demand publisher. What that means is that when you upload into Ingram Spark, the book is also available in the Ingram book catalogue. So if you didn't want to buy from Amazon and you wanted to buy it from, say, your local shop and they had to order it in, chances are they're going to order it from the Ingram's catalogue and then it'll get manufactured and sent to them. That's quite important. I mean, bookshops can order trade copies through Amazon, but realistically bookshops don't like to do that because they see Amazon as a threat, and I completely understand that. So the way you counter that is you put it into Ingram's catalogue, you have a trade price which shops can buy from, and then that kind of gives them an avenue to purchase the shop. So I want to try and put a big emphasis on trying to get this book stocked in shops, as well as just being ordered by shops. So that's kind of where I am with the book. It's very exciting. I'm really glad to have got this far. It's taken nearly 2 years to write this book, and it shouldn't have taken that long. I was hoping to have it out kind of in the summer last year, but COVID-19 lockdowns kind of slowed everything down quite significantly. But you know, I relented and carried on with it, and I managed to get the book finished. I'm really, really proud of it. Feedback from my developmental editor has been brilliant. Some really good suggestions and help from her, which ultimately ends up meaning that I can create a really good product. So once that book is out and I've got the final version of the manuscript, I can also start planning the online workshop version of the book, which is where it will be an online course, probably around 8 to 10 hours long. I've covered a lot of the content in the book, but it goes into more detail, and there'll be lots of worked examples around different case studies that we'll work through as part of the workshop. So that'll be another option for people to consume the content. So with that, I want to get back to formatting the book, and I will speak to you all soon.